Hello and welcome back to Life Blowout Prevention Project. My name is Ania Grimone and I am your host. And today we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that is pleasure. Pleasure is largely underutilized in our society, where we are taught that it is something very indulgent and something that has to be earned. So until and unless we fulfill all our responsibility, we don't get to experience pleasure. And only when we do that, then we get to enjoy whatever it is that gives you pleasure. It could be TV or good food or shopping or sex, even though that's in our society often thought of as orgasm. So unless you have an orgasm, it's not worth it. It's not pleasurable. Or sometimes it could be things that are a little bit self-destructive. It could be drugs or alcohol or gambling. But like any other living creature, we are driven by two primary forces, and that is to seek pleasure and to avoid pain. We're simply hardwired to do that. So if we are hardwired to experience pleasure, wouldn't it make more sense to experience more of it? Pleasure is a direct counteract to stress. Why? Because when you experience pleasure, you get a hit of serotonin and dopamine and endorphins and a lot of biochemicals that help you decrease the stress response, lower your blood pressure, and generally bring your body more in a parasympathetic, in rest and digest, feed, heal, repair, regenerative mode. But you may say, well, I can't eat whatever I want. I cannot shop. I cannot watch TV. I gotta do stuff. What if I told you that you're leaving a lot of pleasure on the table and you don't even know it? Because yes, you can't eat and shop and watch TV all day. You got to get things done. But there's a lot of pleasure that you don't even know you're missing. You see, as human beings, we can't experience something unless we have a name for it. There was a great study that was done on an African tribe that in their language, they did not have a word for color blue. So they had them do an experiment where they had to identify a blue square outside in amongst a number of green squares because they didn't have a language for it. It was very, very hard for them to see it. We all operate that way. Unless you identify something as pleasurable, you will not get to experience pleasure. So my invitation for you is to look at your life, look at the things you enjoy, that you like, and identify them as pleasurable. You see, I love to drive. I really do. But because it was such a commonplace occurrence, I drive every day to work, from work, all over the place. It was sort of a no big deal. Not until I got to identify that I really love driving and that driving brings me pleasure. Every time I sit in the car, I get to experience pleasure, traffic or not. So look at the things you enjoy and identify them as pleasure, whether it is making a great argument in court or having a good idea of having a clean desk or making a good meal or getting to work on time. Be creative. Whatever it is that gives you a sense of satisfaction, call it pleasure. When you do that, you get to experience a lot more of it. And you, by definition and by extension, you will experience a lot less stress, a lot less drama, and a lot less strain. So practice. This is a fun practice to have. And let me know how it goes. Give me your feedback, share, subscribe, and tune in for the next episode of Life Blowout Prevention Project. My name is Ania Grimone, and I will see you next time.